Google and Accel just reviewed over 4,000 AI startups for their accelerator program, but they rejected 70% easily because they were just useless wrappers, thin layers on top of existing models with nothing special or proprietary underneath. Out of 4,000 applications, they ended up only accepting 5 into the actual program. In this video, I want to talk to you about why most AI companies are lies and why you could maybe even build a better product yourself if you were just honest. You might have seen videos from Anthony Sistilli or Mo Bitar covering individual cases of AI companies faking their technology recently. Now, those videos are great, but what I want to show you today is that those individual cases are symptoms of something much bigger. This is a systemic problem in the software industry, backed by data, regulatory filings, and peer-reviewed science. So if you want to learn the truth, well, keep watching. This article from TechBuzz breaks down the numbers from Google and Accel's joint AI accelerator called Atoms. The 70% rejection rate is bad enough on its own, but the economics behind these kinds of wrapper companies are even worse. Their gross margins sit around 23% compared to 80% or higher for traditional SaaS. API costs often eat 45 to 60% of their revenue already because, AI models are expensive and none of these companies actually own their models. So the business model is structurally broken from day one. Google Cloud VP Mauri said it directly. If you're just counting on the backend model to do all the work and you're simply white labeling it, the industry doesn't have patience for that anymore. And we already saw this play out with Jasper AI, which was one of the poster childs for this model of, in a way, just reselling the AI models. Jasper reached 90 million in annual revenue and a $1.5 billion valuation as a writing tool on GPT. And to be fair, it does work well. Those are wrapper companies. So these are companies that aren't necessarily lying, but have nothing real under the hood. Now, sometimes they are still lying because they may put something on their front page saying that they've trained an AI model on your data, which is often not true. Nothing is trained at all. They're just putting some of your own data in their prompts. But some companies here go further and actively lie about their AI systems and what they do. The SEC and FTC have started criminally charging some of those founders, and this article from Stone Turn lays out the full enforcement timeline. Some of this started all the way back in March 2024, when two investment advisory firms called Delphia and Global Predictions settled SEC charges for claiming they used AI that didn't exist, and the combined penalty was $400,000. Then, in January 2025, Presto Automation got hit, a publicly traded drive-through AI company, no less, that claimed 95% of orders needed no human help. Now, the reality was that over 70% required human intervention, and at some locations, it just came close to 100%. The core voice AI technology that they used wasn't even theirs. It was owned by a third party. And then there's Nate Incorporated from April 2025, which was a shopping app that raised $42 million, and the actual AI automation rate was effectively 0%. The entire product was powered by a call center of hundreds of workers in the Philippines. Now, I'm not saying you cannot make an AI system like this work, but you have to do more than this. You cannot just lie your way out of it. The founder was indicted on securities fraud and wire fraud, each carrying a maximum of 20 years, so he's looking at 40 years in prison. The SEC described it as an old school fraud using new school buzzwords, and Nate is not unique in this pattern. You might have heard of Builder.ai, which raised $450 million from Microsoft, SoftBank, and more, which claimed an AI called Natasha could build apps autonomously. The company filed for bankruptcy in June 2025 with liabilities reaching $100 million against assets under 10 million. Amazon had a similar situation with their Just Walkout technology in cashierless stores, where roughly 1,000 workers in India were manually reviewing 70% of transactions. And they quietly phased it out in April 2024. Again here, I fully believe that we will be able to create AI systems that do this kind of work, but companies aren't always upfront that they're still in a training process, and this really is the problem with the current bubble of AI as well. If you're interested to learn how AI works beyond just prompting an LLM, well, that's what I made this channel for, and I also have a set of free open source local AI projects linked in the description below that can walk you through building things from scratch. And this way, I just hope to push the industry to a better standard, honestly. So why does this keep happening? Now, it's not just greed that people just want to make a quick buck. Researchers at Aalto University in Finland ran many experiments where people used ChatGPT to solve certain school admission reasoning problems, and every single group of users overestimated their performance after using AI, regardless of their actual ability level. Now, normally with this kind of Dunning-Kruger effect, the least skilled people are the most overconfident, but with AI, that flips completely. Sometimes people with higher AI literacy, the power users who use these tools the most, show the greatest overconfidence. And we are seeing this happening in the founder space. Young people with not that much career experience just think that they're geniuses when they can create an MVP with Claude Code. Professor Robin Welch put it clearly: when it comes to AI, the Dunning Kruger effect vanishes. What's really surprising is the higher AI literacy brings more overconfidence. Picture this: a non technical founder sitting down with Claude Code, vibe coding a demo in 3 hours while the AI tells him it's brilliant the entire time. It will never push back, it will never say this won't scale, and it might not even say that they need a real engineer for this. After that experience, the founder is just completely gassed up and genuinely believes that they built something amazing. Some of these people really aren't cynical grifters, but the tools themselves just made them delusional. 88% of Y Combinator's latest batch is AI native, and a quarter of the W25 batch had code bases that were 95% AI generated, which makes sense because you can just throw together a quick demo and impress a couple of venture capitalists. Now, I've shipped production software for years, and the gap between a demo and a real product is enormous. But the tools make that gap invisible to the person building the demo. The whole startup ecosystem is running on overconfidence, and the AI itself is the engine that's going to keep this going for years. So, next time you see an AI product launch go viral with a really slick 60-second demo, ask yourself whether that's a real product with real engineering behind it, or a prompt wrapper that someone vibe coded and that will not be supported in 2 years from now. Because based on the data we just looked at, the odds say it's probably more of a scammy product 70% of the time. If you want to work towards a world where we have really useful AI products that go beyond just prompting an LLM, check out my set of free open source projects linked in the description below that teach you how to build real things from scratch. Now, subscribe if you want more AI engineering truths like this one, and then I'll see you next time.